rainy mess out there. It's right in the middle of calving season. And it's raining and the snow's melting and it's a sloppy mess. It's the first sign of spring we're having here in western Montana, and we saw some robins. I saw 10 robins this morning. And a couple of ducks came in and cruised the creek and left. There's not much of the creek open, but I could tell they weren't local ducks. They were ducks that were passing by, seeing if I'd put out any corn for them yet. I always put out a little bit of corn in the spring because I like to see a few of the ducks come in here and say hi to me in the spring. I love them. I love seeing them. But I want to talk to you just a little bit about a subject that never gets talked about when I talk about gun collectors. So I used to fancy myself sort of a gun collector, and I kind of left that, realizing maybe it was outside of my league. Poor boy got no business collecting guns, but I still love them. But I want to talk to you about Shotgun Soul. So. That's a little bit of a hard concept, but you see this shotgun right here, right there on the wall. I'll show it to you. This is a Model 200 Stevens 20 gauge. Most people have never seen one of these. It was only made for 3 years, from like 1913 to 1916 or something like that. Very complicated action. It's a takedown gun. But when you talk about, there's some old guns that you find that just have what I call soul. So this gun came in a leg of mutton case. I don't have the case here in front of me at the moment. But I bought it cheap, like 200 bucks for the gun and the case. And full choke barrel. What do I mean by Shotgun Soul? So, for me, I realized that collecting wasn't a thing I wanted to do for valuable guns. For an old poor boy, that isn't a good thing. But there's still guns out there. I've learned that the ones I really am drawn to, the ones that really beckon me, are these ones like this. These guns that must have a story in life. And I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to tap into a part of the old guys that owned these guns and the lives they lived and experiences they had, the hunts they went on. It's sort of an imaginary journey, but it's a wonderful journey. Look at this guy. Somebody at one point decided they were going to try to checker this guy. They put a little checker in on him, then they gave up. And the whole story behind this gun is just such a mystery, and it's such a wonderful thing to think about and imagine. I just love this little gun. It's no money. I've got no money tied up in it really. 200 bucks isn't much. But this is one gun, and I'm to be honest, I've never shot it. I'm sort of scared to, but I might one of these days. One of the reasons I haven't is it doesn't really lock up very good. It never really locks forward, so I'm guessing it probably shoots okay, but maybe I'll get brave and try it someday, but I don't have it for that reason. I have a really nice shotgun that I use for a hunting shotgun, a field gun we call it. But this guy has got stories. I don't know what they are, but there's something in me that wants to be part of that story. So just owning it at this point in its life is an honor. Look at there, there's a red head pad, original red head pad there. So think about that when you're collecting guns. it's tempting to collect them high dollar guns that somebody else is going to want. I've learned a thing about myself. I enjoy the guns the most that probably nobody wants, that just have that feel in them, that there's lots of hunts, lots of stories that I'll maybe never know, but you know what? It don't hurt for me to dream about them and enjoy the thought of them. So there's my Model 200. For those of you that are interested, you should research the Model 200 Stevens. It's the first 20 gauge, I'm sorry, let me back up. It's the first repeater that was ever chambered for 20 gauge. This one is. This particular model of gun is the first repeater ever chambered for 20 gauge. And another interesting thing is it was chambered for 3-inch magnums or 3-inch shells before they even made 3-inch shells for a 20 gauge. So I find that interesting too. I don't know what the reason for that is. It's got a lot of cool features, but I'm not going to go into them all right now. But just look at this guy. Think about how many days of field this thing spent. Somebody really loved this old gun. This was probably their only gun. Probably put meat on the table for them for years and years. So I'm honored to be the keeper of this wonderful piece of art that is worn completely out. That doesn't bother me at all. God bless you. Love you guys.